Okay, let's try a little experiment. If you're driving, please keep your eyes on the road. But if you can, just for a second, I want you to visualize something with me.
Uh-huh.
Picture this. You're standing in your bathroom. It's early in the morning. Tiles are cold under your feet. And you've got that harsh vanity light humming overhead.
I'm there.
You lean in over the sink and you look right into the mirror.
It's maybe the most honest moment of the day, right?
It really is. And you
Yeah.
see the texture of your skin, a pore here, maybe some redness there. You see how your smile is a little crooked or, I don't know, a dark circle under one eye because you didn't sleep well.
It's just real. It's messy. It's
Messy.
human.
Exactly. It's biology. But now, hold that image in your mind and imagine that as you're looking, the reflection, it starts to shift.
Ooh.
Right before your eyes, the skin just blurs into this impossibly smooth surface. Your jawline gets a little tighter. Your eyes get a tiny bit bigger, brighter.
The nose slims down.
Yeah. And it's still mimicking you when you move, but it's not you anymore. It's like a polished, perfect ghost.
And that's not science fiction.
Mm-hmm.
For millions of people, that's just the morning routine now. We're not looking at mirrors anymore. We're looking at algorithms.
That's it. And that gets us to the absolute core question of today's deep dive. We've got this huge stack of research in front of us, psychological studies, media analysis, and it all points to this one kind of terrifying question. When you look at someone or even yourself and that thought pops into your head, beautiful or ugly, is that actually your thought?
Or is it a thought that has been carefully planted there?
Today, we're going to unpack the machinery of perception. The sources we've looked at suggest that media isn't just, showing us things. It's physically rewiring our brains to decide what's attractive.
Yeah, this goes so far beyond just screen time. This is about the psychology of self-worth. It's about actual medical phenomena, basically the industrial scale manufacturing of insecurity.
So let's just dive right in. We have to talk about how this all started. Airbrushing isn't new. We all grew up with magazines, right? I remember seeing them at the checkout counter.
We did, but there was a psychological distance there.
Yeah.
You'd see a supermodel on a glossy cover, and you knew on some level that it was a whole production.
Right, a team of people, 10 hours of lighting.
Exactly. It felt distant. It was Hollywood. It was fantasy. You didn't look at a billboard and then go home and get mad at your bathroom mirror for not looking the same.
I understood the difference, but that's the thing that's changed, isn't it? The tools that were in the hands of the professional airbrusher are now just in the palm of your hand.
And that's the game changer. The proximity. Yeah. It's not them on a billboard anymore. It's you on your own screen.
It happens instantly. You open an app, you swipe, and boom, perfect skin, symmetrical face. It's all in real time.
And this has led to a recognized medical phenomenon. It's not just a fun party trick. Researchers at Boston University School of Medicine, they've been studying this, and they've given it a name. They call it Snapchat dysmorphia.
That sounds like a buzzword, but you're saying this is a clinical thing?
Oh, it's deeply serious.
Yeah.
They've linked it directly to body dysmorphic disorder, BDD.
Okay, so BDD is when you obsess over a flaw that other people can't really even see, right?
But here is the crazy twist with Snapchat dysmorphia. The flaw isn't a scar or a slightly crooked nose. The flaw is that you don't look like the filtered version of yourself.
That's the part that just breaks my brain. You're not comparing yourself to a celebrity anymore. You're comparing your real self to a digital, better version of you.
And your brain can't handle that discrepancy. I mean, plastic surgeons used to get patients coming in with a photo of a movie star saying, "Make me look like this."
Yeah.
Now they say patients come in holding up their own filtered selfie on their phone and saying, "Make me look like this."
They want the surgery to match the algorithm.
Correct. But the algorithm isn't based on biology. So when you look in the real mirror and see real pores, real texture, real life, your brain flags it as an error. It says, something's wrong here. This is broken.
It's like total alienation from your own body. The more you see the filtered you, the more the real you starts to look unattractive. It's like we're losing the ability to just be human.
We are training ourselves to see human reality as an error code.
And speaking of that kind of training, let's pivot a little because I think there's this stereotype that body image is, a woman's issue. But the research we have shows this machine is grinding down men just as hard.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The sculpting of the male ideal is just as aggressive. It might operate a little differently, but the pressure is immense.
My mind immediately goes to those ads. The Old Spice guy on a horse on a beach.
Yes.
And he's just completely shredded. And it's funny, it's over the top, but that image It sinks in.
It sinks in. And those ads, they're not just selling deodorant. They're selling a baseline for what a man is supposed to look like.
But let's be real. Most guys listening, myself included, we probably have a bit of a belly or some love handles. We have jobs. We sit down.
Which is biologically normal. I mean, for most of human history, having some body fat was a sign of health.
Right.
Of survival.
Right. But to get that shrink-wrapped look where you see every muscle fiber, that's not a normal, healthy lifestyle for 99% of people.
No, it often requires extreme diets, dehydration, specific lighting.
Yeah.
Things the brain just doesn't see. And there was a study on this way back in 2009 in the journal Psychology of Men and Masculinity.
So this is even before Instagram was huge.
Exactly. Even back then, they found that just looking at those kinds of muscular images made men feel really self-conscious. But it was deeper than just, I wish I looked like that.
How so?
It created a sense of moral failure.
Moral failure. What, like being out of shape is a sin?
In a psychological way, yes. The narrative it creates is that if you don't look like that, you must be lazy or undisciplined. So if you skip the gym, you don't just feel like you missed a workout. You feel like you're a bad person.
That is that feeling of inadequacy, the guilt. So on one side, you have this intense pressure to be sculpted, but then you flip the coin. And there's just ruthless punishment for anyone who carries any extra weight.
It's the scrutiny spectrum. And this is where the media stops creating ideals and starts just actively punishing reality.
Right.
We have to talk about public shaming.
Oh, it's brutal. The sources we looked at had some just heartbreaking examples. Christina Aguilera, for instance. I remember this. She gets pregnant, which involves, growing a person.
A pretty normal biological process, yeah.
And the tabloids just hammered her for gaining weight. Or Adele, ridiculed for years for having curves. Or Demi Lovato shamed for weight gain while they were in recovery for an eating disorder.
It feels like a total no-win situation.
It does. And that shaming, it doesn't just hurt the celebrity, does it? It has to affect us, the audience.
It does. A 2019 study looked at this, at the impact of fat shaming. They found it creates a ripple effect. When you see someone famous being mocked for their weight, it plants these anti-overweight attitudes deep in your subconscious.
So it validates the idea that it's okay to judge people on their size.
It reinforces the lie that thinness is the only definition of worth, and that your body isn't just a container for you, it is your value, which is just a devastating lesson to learn.
It really is. And there's another layer to this, one that often gets overlooked in these conversations, but the research shows it's just as damaging. We need to talk about the color of beauty.
Yes, we have to talk about colorism.
So this term was coined by Alice Walker way back in 1982, but I think a lot of people still confuse it with racism.
Yeah.
How do we define it?
It's a really important distinction. So, racism is discrimination based on race. Colorism is a specific prejudice within races or across society where lighter-skinned people of color are seen as more favorable than darker-skinned people.
So lightness equals beauty and darkness doesn't.
Essentially, yes. And once you see it, you can't unsee it in media, especially Hollywood.
It's everywhere.
It's a massive visual trope. I mean, just look at casting. Who gets to be the romantic lead? Who's the hero? Overwhelmingly, it's lighter-skinned actors.
And the darker-skinned actors are...
What? The sidekicks, the comic relief, the villain, or they're just not there at all. Invisible.
That has to do a number on your head to grow up seeing that, to never see yourself as the main character.
The psychological fallout is immense. We were looking at the work of psychologist Josephine Almanansar on this, and she talks about core beliefs.
Ow.
When you are never represented as valuable or desirable, it damages your core belief in your own worth.
So it's not just, I wish I looked different. It's a feeling of unworthiness.
Exactly. It can lead to depression, to hopelessness. This deep internal feeling that you are fundamentally wrong because of the melanin in your skin.
Okay, so let's take a step back. We have filters warping our faces, muscle dysmorphia for men, fat shaming, colorism. It's a perfect storm. The big question is, why does any of this work on us?
This is the pivot. Why is our brain so easy to hack in this way?
It can't just be that we're shallow. There has to be a mechanism.
There's a very specific one. It's called the mere exposure effect.
Okay, break that down for us. This is from the social psychologist Robert Zajonc from the 60s.
That's the one. And his work is so fascinating because it basically reveals this glitch in how our brains work. The principle is unbelievably simple. We like things just because we're familiar with them.
Familiarity breeds attraction.
Pretty much. Think of it like this. If I show you some random jagged shape, you probably won't have a strong opinion. You might even dislike it. It looks foreign.
Okay.
But if I flash that same shape at you, 100 times a day for a month, on your phone, on TV, just by seeing it over and over, you will eventually start to think, you know what? I kind of like that shape. It's a good one.
That's wild. It means our taste isn't really our taste, it's just our familiar taste. So how does that apply to beauty?
It explains everything. If you open your phone 500 times a day and you see retouched skin, thin bodies, lighter skin tones, your brain learns to tag those specific visual patterns as normal and therefore attractive.
It's a feedback loop. Exposure makes it familiar, and familiarity makes it attractive.
And this is the really dangerous part. The inverse is also true. If you almost never see real skin texture or bigger bodies or dark skin in your media diet, your brain flags those things as unfamiliar and therefore unattractive or even wrong.
So attraction isn't some mystical, objective truth. It's a habit.
It's a habit, a programmed response to whatever data we feed it.
That's actually kind of empowering.
How do you mean?
Well, it means it's not our fault. We aren't broken. We've just been programmed. And if you can be programmed, you can be deprogrammed. A habit can be broken.
Bingo. This is where we take back control. If the brain learns through exposure, it can be retrained through exposure.
We can hack the mere exposure effect in reverse.
Yes, we can. You have to become the curator of your own feed. And the most practical way to do that comes down to 2 buttons, unfollow and follow.
It sounds so simple, but it makes sense. If you are following accounts that make you feel awful about yourself, influencers with heavy filters, brands pushing one body type, just unfollow them.
Purge them. It's like a diet for your eyes. You wouldn't eat spoiled food every day, so why consume images that make you feel sick? And then replace it.
Right, you have to actively populate your feed with reality. Follow people who look like you, people with different bodies, different skin tones, people who show their acne or their gray hair.
And then the magic happens.
Yeah.
Your exposure effect starts working for you instead of against you. By seeing reality more often, your brain starts to recognize real, natural qualities as familiar again.
And then you look in the mirror and the texture on your skin doesn't look like a flaw. It just looks like skin.
It resets your baseline. You start to find reality beautiful again because you're finally letting yourself see it.
It's a detox for your mind. We've gone from this deep-seated dysmorphia all the way to understanding the mechanism behind it.
And realizing that our tastes are so often programmed by people who just want to sell us something. The moment you see that, the spell starts to break.
I want to leave everyone with one final thought. Your body. It really is just a container. It's the vehicle you get to experience life in, not the definition of the passenger inside.
It doesn't define your worth, it just enables your life.
But here's the question I want you to walk away with. As we go deeper and deeper into this digital world where AI can generate perfect faces that don't even belong to a real person, if we keep viewing each other through these filters and screens, do we risk losing the ability to love the imperfect, messy reality of an actual human being?
That's the real danger, isn't it? Not that we won't be beautiful enough, but that we'll forget how to connect with anything that's actually real. And if we lose that, we lose everything.
So next time you look in that mirror, take a good long look. And maybe, just maybe, try like what you see. Thanks for diving in with us.
See you next time.